My brother was a lovely boy. He was...
This is Bobby, isn't it? Yes.
Yeah. How old was he? 62, I think, when he passed. Be with you. He's a lovely man. Absolutely lovely man. He was gentle. He had humility. And sometimes, very rarely, he was a pain in the ass, but he was great. I mean, he was just... People probably need to know he was Down syndrome, which is, they used to call him mentally handicapped back in the day. But he was, as I say, the gentlest of people, very loving. You know, Down syndrome are very loving people. And he was, in some ways, more fortunate than others, because his level of disability was a step up from other people that we met. I was associated with mental handicap for, well, most of my life till he died, really. But he achieved independence, because when we were in Edinburgh, there was a group called the Action Group, and it was a charity. It was set up, and it was to basically set up a halfway house for people with that sort of disability to basically join the community. So there was a halfway house, and then he ended up in a flat on his own in Edinburgh. Lovely flat, about 4 roads down from Princess Street.
Wow.
If you know where that is.
I do.
Not the castle side, the other side, down towards the south.
The Waverley Station.
Yeah. So if you're in the Waverley Station and went up Princess Street that way, and you look to your left, about 4 roads down, that's where he was.
Yeah.
He was a totally fulfilled human being. He was brilliant, and he loved the cinema, and he paid for his tickets on direct debit, would you believe, and would go on the bus to the cinema. And Mum and Dad moved away from Edinburgh and came back down to the West Country. Bobby, originally, he was able to be dropped at the airport and get down on his own, which was fantastic. So he used to come down a lot. We'd meet him, obviously, when he arrived. And one time he came in, and I said, "Oh, hi, Bob. Have you seen any good films recently?" And he'd always go, "Yes." And I'd say, "Oh, right." I said, "There's one at the cinema that I really want to see." I said, "It's called A Perfect Storm. Have you seen it?" He went, "Yes." And I said, "Because it's got George Clooney in it. He's my favourite actor at the moment." He went, "Yeah, he dies in the end."
No spoilers except from Bobby.
I said, "Oh, thanks, Bob." He went, yeah. So that's the kind of...
brilliant pragmatism, yeah.
But nothing totally... not a bad bone in his body. He lived a great life.
How long ago did he die? Because I know how raw it is for you.
2000 and... I can't remember whether he died before or after Minnie was born. I can't remember. But he would have been 62, so... I tell you what, he was born in 1956, so we kind of worked that one out. But it's just not unusual. But anything that befalls people who don't have Downs affects Downs as well, but it just happens sooner. So Bobby got dementia, and he was 62.
Mm-hmm.
So,
and he's a wonderful inspiration for you. Anything else you want to tell us about Bobby?
It was a strange thing. He came down one year, and he came off the plane in a wheelchair, and me and my mum had picked him up, and he said, "What's wrong?" He said, "I've just hurt my foot," and it became very obvious that he could not walk properly. So she took him to the hospital, and he had an x-ray. His ankle was broken, and nobody knew. So he was meant to stay with us for 2 weeks, I think. Ended up staying for 2 months. Nearly killed my mother. But, the point is, no complaints, no nothing. Just got on with it. And that's the sort of guy I was.
It's a lovely tribute to Bobby.
Yeah.
Another inspiration.
The family, basically my family. They're a great, great family. And in the face of adversity, stick together brilliantly, absolutely brilliantly. And that is inspirational to me. So I shall try for my voice not to break too much as we go through this, but Andrew experienced loss of a partner, Abby, in 2015, which, as you can imagine, was traumatic for him, terrible for him, and pretty bad for the family. But he was stoic in his treatment of that bleak time. And his brother Dave was superb. And he was with Claire, not quite married then, but... And I think this might not be quite accurate, but as they say, never let the truth get in the way of a good story. But Abby and Andrew moved in with Dave and Claire for a while. And she was diagnosed in the June, passed in the December. And I always remember Andrew saying at Dave's wedding, because obviously they were best man for one another. He said at the time there, it wasn't just a place to live, it was a home. And the support that he got from Dave and Claire was superb. Absolutely superb. And how can you not be inspired by that? Absolutely brilliant. And after Abby died, she'd said, and Andrew told us this, she said to him, now look, when I'm gone, I want you out dating again. And he said, well, she said, no, don't muck about. I want you dating. So he did as he was told. And within a fairly short period of time, he met Sarah, who is lovely, and went on to become his wife and the mother of his children. And she has always been never judgmental, totally accepting, loving mum, and a lovely, lovely person. So we never had daughters, but now we've got two beautiful daughters-in-law, Claire and Sarah. So again, inspirational. Love it all. And I'd like to, they both run their families so beautifully that I just think to myself, well, yeah. Do I think we're lucky? I think they make their own luck. So it's great. It's absolutely great. So that inspires me. I always does want to think about it. Life moves on. You have to move on, but it doesn't mean you have to forget. So, yeah, my family inspire me. And Carol was right there as well, because it happened quite suddenly. Or, well, as in, the news came, I had to take my mum up to Scotland for a funeral, as it happens, on the day Abby passed. Carol was great. She looked after him when he got back from London, and her loyalty to the family, superb.